Hey guys, Sebastian here again from Signify Global Product Sourcing. And as you know, I love to interview others from the standpoint of a seller to show all the tools that are available, to bring you some news in there. And today I'm super happy to have Mike Zagare here. Mike is the founder and the CEO of PPC Entourage, one of the tools that has been acquired by Carbon 6. I don't even want to talk too much about it. Mike, welcome you. Here's the stage for you. Give us a little bit of an introduction. Who are you? Where do you come from? What is PPC Entourage?
Yeah, so for those of you who know me and have heard this before, you maybe are sick of it, but I'm a recovering physical therapist. I was a physical therapy major in college and then practiced physical therapy for 10 years. I started a physical therapy practice. And one day I realized, man, this just is not for me. There's got to be other opportunities out there. And then I heard about Amazon, started that. And I also started some other things as well. But it was clear that Amazon was the opportunity at the time for me. And started selling on Amazon, did really well. But it was really Amazon advertising that was like the reason why we did so well. At that time, it was like, make 1,000 campaigns and get your products out there and shotgun it. And before you know it, we were doing millions of dollars a year on it, but it was very hard to manage the ads. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a tool out there that can help me do this. I started putting it all together, and then we built the very first version of Entourage. And to be honest, I didn't even know back then what a bug was or anything. But we just built the tool, and it's been 7 years since, and it's come a long way. And so has Amazon advertising.
Nice. I'm not really sure if I should feel sorry for you. Just starting like putting on all the campaigns, making the millions of dollars. I'm so sorry for you, mate.
Yeah, it's a pity story.
Sounds like a very nice journey, actually. Now, did you do all of this in the beginning, without the tool until you noticed like, whoa, we're making a lot of money, but we need the overview about it? So it sounds like it grew out of your own demand. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, both spreadsheets was the other option. And to me, like learning how to use bulk spreadsheets was a nightmare. I wanted nothing to do with that. I still want nothing to do with that. So the only other option was really to build a tool that could do it. And I just saw an opportunity. But at the first, 2 or 3 months of doing it, it was just massive amounts of campaigns and totally poor structure and mixed keywords and scattered everything. So made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I think the experience has helped to create a really organized tool that I'm proud of, very proud of today.
You say 7 years ago. I mean, was it actually like the bulk file upload and the bulk file download existing on Amazon before? It wasn't 7 years ago, was it?
Yeah, not 7 years ago. It was probably more like 6 years ago. I'm not sure the exact time, but it came along that time frame. But there was always the ability to download reports and then, make sense of the reports. And then I was like, okay, this is just not something I want to do. I want to make a tool that makes it like a lot easier to understand what's going on.
Yeah. Before jumping into the tool, what did you notice? What were like the first major things where you say, jump into ads optimization? Like what have you noticed were some of the first best practices or like the common mistakes or the bulk tasks where you say you could cover the majority of ads optimization?
So originally it was keeping too many keywords in one campaign and just having like thousands of keywords or up to 10,000 keywords in a campaign, I believe it was. And believe me, I did that and I tried that out. And then, then you would get to the point where your budget would get spent, but a lot of keywords in there, which could have been good potential keywords, didn't get any budget utilization. So then it was all about organizing and keeping, as the competition increased, the cost per clicks increased. So like, why would you want to waste your time on some of these keywords that just aren't relevant? So it's more about like staying relevant and organizing your list of keywords and then being more strategic because, of course, every dollar counts in this day and age, So, that's the main thing, being on top of bids, being on top of structure, being clearly organized, seeing where there's opportunities and seeing where maybe some keywords just aren't really worth it anymore, where it's just too expensive and there's no really value to going after those keywords. You might as well go after some longer tail keywords.
Yeah. I remember myself as well. I think the longest or the biggest campaign I had, and there were like 970, 980 keywords, and you just,
Nice.
just give it. And many of them are so, of course, so similar. And you start even targeting completely other keywords, which could be a complementary product, but you lose some money on there. And I don't know, 80% of the keywords you never would get running. You'd never get impressions. I mean, of course, all of them are bidding against one another, or not necessarily bidding against one another, but some of them pop up in the top, and 80% of the keywords just never really get any impressions.
Yeah, it's an absolute cluster. I've actually seen campaigns with 997 negative keywords. So, yeah, because it's just wild, you know. So you see some things over the years. So, but less of that nowadays, that's for sure.
Exactly. And when you have this, you know, all those tools, and I mean, this is massive amount of knowledge and experience in a single person's head. That person goes on vacation or something, or doesn't focus on it anymore, the whole knowledge of the campaign is just lost. I mean, nobody could structure, get in there and understand what's going on. That is, I guess, you built yourself a tool. One of the reasons.
Yeah, yeah. A quick little backstory about why we built the tool the way we did is, well, back when I was a really, I'm still naive in certain ways, but back then I was really naive entrepreneur, and Amazon said, hey, we recommend that you use this bulk spreadsheet. Is when bulk spreadsheets, I guess, first came out 2017 or so, to optimize your bids. They asked me like what my target ACoS was, and we were spending like 50K per month on ads or whatever. And they said, okay, we'll use this bulk spreadsheet. We'll target 40% ACoS, and you can scale out your ads. And I believe them. And unfortunately, I uploaded the spreadsheet, and all hell broke loose. It was like our sales went down, organic sales went down, our bids went insane. There was one bid that was like, $12 or $15. And I remember back in the day, that was like unheard of to have a bid that high in the pet niche. So like it screwed up everything, and I needed a way to do it fast, to reverse what they did. And I had no knowledge of spreadsheets. So we built our tool sort of around, if you're in that predicament, or if you have a messy account, or if you're an agency who adopts like a really old account with lots of crap going on, how can you get in there quickly and easily and clean things up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
tool helps.
there's a good ending story
of the keywords, of course. And with this overview, talking about the tools, do you yourself trust in like full term optimization?
You mean
Sorry,
like AI?
Sure.
Yeah. I'd like to know what's actually going on underneath the hood, and why the tool's coming up with a certain calculation. And I think it's important to have that transparency. Sometimes, Amazon's got their own AI and machine learning. So it's like you're already getting some of that with Amazon's auto campaigns and some of their machine learning that's already built in. So we just want to complement that. And that's my philosophy with the tools, to keep it very simple. Other tools out there, sometimes you're not quite sure like what's going on with the bid, because there's some kind of complex strategy underneath. And, we've heard sometimes where, man, things just got out of control. I don't know why. I had to shut it off, like all that kind of stuff. So that's our philosophy, is to keep things simple. And, this way you can trust what's going on and change things and make tweaks and changes as you go.
One of the things I always hear, and I'm the same feelings, of course, when you get a tool and you connect it, and you get the feeling it's a black box. And something comes out in the end. Plus, originally, myself, I'm a control engineer. In terms, regulating and controlling control algorithms, you do need to understand how can you increase the gain, how can you control the whole algorithm, and understand what is the process behind there, why does it rule up, down, lower, and whatsoever. How much transparency is in there, or how do you suggest when you have a tool, how can you understand the outcome? How do you document it? Is that somewhat you show in the tool as well?
Yeah, so we have some templates that you can apply, and you can apply them to, like, let's say optimization, very basic templates. If you just wanted to go, let's say, target a certain ACoS, you could take a certain template and use that template and apply it to all of your campaigns. And then the cool thing is, in the activity log, you can see exactly what the system is doing, and then revert the changes if there's a change that you don't really think is appropriate for whatever reason. So everything is, and a good example of this is for placement optimization. It's really complex, and you'll go into our system and it's like, okay, well, it's recommending a 600% increase in top of search. Well, why? Because it's trying to balance out the entire campaign across all three placements and all the targets in all the campaigns in that campaign for that target ACoS, and it's going to lower the base bid and raise the placement. So like that could be really confusing if you don't know what's actually going on. All of a sudden you log in, you see 600% increase in top of search modifier. Whoa, what's going on? So we spell it out for you. I make videos, and it's really simple though. Like when you really look under the hood, it may seem complex to some people when they first get in the tool, but
Yeah.
there's really, it's just more rule-based bidding. You're making rules and you're setting up templates and you're adjusting as you go. And then to complement that, we suggest going into the bulk engine, which is like the spreadsheet eliminator, where you can go and make, a bunch of different changes at once to sort of complement your automation. And I think that's where we are different from other tools, is that we have a good mix of automation and bulk actions, where you can sort of like get your hands in the data. It's not a set and forget type tool where you just like, select a SKU and you're off to the races. That is not us. There's other tools out there if you're, super busy entrepreneur, but if you want to know what's going on under the hood, a lot of people like the ability to get into the data on our tool.
That is actually, it was so clear. What is my next question going to be? You already started answering it, but and maybe you're ready for screen sharing, right?
Sure. Yeah.
My question would be like, how is your tool different from others? We don't need to give any names out there. I don't know how deep you know the competitors or whatever is available in the market, but very important, I guess, for the people to understand is like, how's it different?
So this is interesting because I built the tool really never looking at any other tools, just kind of going and listening to what other sellers were saying. And we have a very small agency, so I'd listen to the managers and see what they needed. So over the years, that was the main strategy and philosophy. Just now, I'm starting to get more into learning about other tools and what they are excelling at, what they're good at. It looks like our tool is like a good tool if you really want to eliminate the need to go to Seller Central and you really want to get into the data and understand the data yourself and take actions yourself, or if you have a team of managers who are managing thousands of campaigns and want to take massive action like in a small period of time, but really take calculated actions using the bulk filters and all the engines that we have. That's the tool that's the purpose for our tool. But in terms of like other tools, I'm still learning more about the other tools, to be fully transparent, so I really, it's kind of hard to say. I've gotten my hands on a couple of them and there's definitely differences. The one thing I would recommend is test out a couple of the tools and see what's best for you, because like we had an agency last week who wanted hands-off automation where they just, select a SKU and you're off to the races, and we weren't a good fit for them at all. So we recommended someone else. But then other agencies are like, holy crap, this is exactly what we need to manage all of our campaigns efficiently. So it really depends on the needs of the seller.
I have to say, I find it super sympathetic. Is sympathetic the right word? I guess so.
Depends on the follow-up.
I do like it. I do enjoy it for the simple reason is, you've been building a tool out of your own demand. You know what's needed, and then you listen to others like, hey, what else would you like to have? Look at the tool. Let us develop it from there without, checking out the whole marketplace out there and just trying to beat the other one. If you build a tool or if you do kind of like we do, the sourcing out of own demand. And if you say, hey, if I need it, then most likely somebody else will need that as well. And plus listen to them. What else can we do better? I think this is one of the ways of building like the best tools. So go for it, shoot for it, share the screen, convince me.
Yeah, sure. All right. So let me know when you can.
Yep. Okay.
You can see my screen. All right. I'm going to minimize my Zoom face here so it's not in the way. There we go. All right. So this is when you log into Entourage. This is what you're going to see. And of course, all the different ad types are visible here. All of our reporting is customizable. In fact, we just came out with a brand new reporting tab. And it's really, really awesome because you can really get into the numbers, the nitty-gritty details of like what's going on. And I'll show you a little bit more about that later. But if you go over here, you can see like everything's customizable. I could add different tiles and check different things out and customize a view. We recently added this weekly view and monthly view because it's important to know what's going on month over month and just get a nice snapshot when you log in of what's exactly going on under the hood and in terms of like your organic revenue, your PPC revenue, are your impressions going up or down? And here you can see the trends over a period of time across the entire account. This view is also available on all of campaign dashboards. And I'll show you in a second like what a campaign dashboard actually looks like, but you can get a sense for how it's performing over a period of time. This section here is called the Command Center. It's also the Seller Central Eliminator because essentially things that you do inside of Seller Central, you can do over here, but in bulk. So like, let's say you wanted to update your campaign name, you would come over here and let's say you wanted to update 2 or 3 campaign names, you'd go over to the bulk move section over here. And let me go over here and find it. Here's the update campaign name section where the current campaigns that we selected are right over here. I could add the target ACOS that we selected for our campaigns over here, the ad type. Let's say I wanted to identify that it's an exact match type, or it's a rank campaign, whatever the case may be. Or if I just want to say, hey, this is the name of my agency, it's Fluff Agency, I could apply that at the start, you know what I mean? And save that and quickly organize the campaigns. The reason why I show this is like, this is a really good snapshot of like what our tool's all about. It's all about being efficient, saving money quickly, being organized, all kinds of things like that. So the bulk move section has a bunch of other different features over here. And let me just give you a little more space. What I'm going to do is expand this actually. And here we go. So you could do things like very basic things like pause and unpause, add to portfolios. Like I said before, update campaign names, the bidding strategies. I could add products. Let's say I get a brand new variation and I have pre-existing campaigns. Well, I can do that at scale. I could add targets if I do campaign research and add that at scale, negatives. One of the things that I like to show here is view creative details. So when you click on view creative details, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the sort of like the guts of the campaign. And part of our strategy is to help sellers eliminate having to click into, you know, multiple screens inside of Seller Central. Like I said before, the Seller Central Eliminator. So this is showing you the ASINs that you're targeting in your ads. It's going to scroll through them, the amount of ad groups, the amount of targets. I can actually click on there and see the targets. They're going to pop up there. The negative keywords, negative targets, the match types. You can see here, this is exact. Here we have exact and phrase. Any kind of tags that I've set up, which I'll show you that in a second, because tagging is incredibly powerful in our tool. Since this is a sponsored product, we have the bidding strategy and the top of search modifiers. Now, if I were to go over here and go to sponsored brand ads and do the same thing, which you could just press this plus button over here, we're actually going to show you the creative details without you having to go in and actually, you know, see inside of Seller Central, like what am I actually, what is the creative actually looking like? So here's the headline. Of course, I put a stupid headline here, test one. But here's the creative part of the ad that's going to show up. This is what it looks like. Test one, shop now. Very creative ad indeed. And you could sort of see what's going on as well as the landing page here. So this is the landing page that I'm sending the traffic to.
Okay.
So that's the bulk moves section. And in the command center, you also get access to all of the automation, which is called our smart pilot. So the smart pilot is broken down into optimization and expansion. And then the bulk engine, which I'll show you, it's right over here, which is really what sellers love about our tool. I'll get to that last. That is also broken down into optimization and expansion. So when you see over here, all of the smart pilots are turned off for these campaigns. And let me go back over to sponsored product ads. Here we have it, smart pilots turned on. And if I click on this, go ahead.
Sorry, what are these smart pilots?
Oh, okay. So the smart pilot is the rule-based automation that I was talking about earlier before we did the demo. This is where you can do really, really good target-based optimization, negative exacts, day parting. We even have A/B split testing where you can change your listing and then see how that impacts your advertising.
Nice.
And the cool thing about this is once you figure something out that works really well, you can save it as a template and apply it to like hundreds or thousands of campaigns all at once.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we have optimization and expansion. And you can see you can apply this to the entire campaign, or you can apply it to an ad group inside of a campaign if you wanted to get like really granular. And I have a template that I applied here. I have a weird name to that template, but if I wanted to apply a different template, I can go over here and apply a template. You can see what's included in the template, and it's going to show you the settings that I've saved for that template, the basic settings, the target ACOS, the negative target automation. And again, I can either edit that template or I can apply it to this campaign. So what's cool about this is there's basic settings and then there's advanced settings. The basic settings is what I suggest sellers start off with. which essentially is like targeting a certain ACOS. Very simple. We're going to go in there every single day. We're going to have a set look back period. You can adjust that look back period in our tool. It's completely customizable. By default, it's 30 days, but you can come in here and you can set it to 90 days or 7 days, depending on the velocity, sales velocity or ad spend of that campaign. You may want to make it even higher. So let me uncheck this here. Actually, it's a template. I'm going to head on over to one that doesn't have a template on. Here we go. So when you go over here, you see you can select the basic settings. Target ACOS 30, look back period 30, or you could do a custom look back period. And we're just doing very, very basic optimizations here on a keyword level inside of those campaigns. Now, everything that we do is recorded inside of the activity log. Every single day you can log in. You can see, okay, what did the Smart Pilot do today for all of these different settings? This way, you know precisely what's going on underneath the hood. And then if you want to get a little more granular, which you can easily do, although you can get as nuts as you want with this, you can go over here and use some of these advanced settings. So let's say you wanted to do the 0 sale targets, where every day you're going in over the last 7 days and you're getting all of the clicks that targets that have 8 clicks and no sales. And then you're doing an action, which could be to pause the keyword. Let's say you wanted to clone that and you wanted to do that over a longer period of time because certain targets take longer to get to that action that you need for it to take. So you could do that over 90 days or 150 days. The whole thing is completely customizable. And we have all of these advanced settings that you can choose from.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
What I really like about this is like, it looks like you have tons of tutorials in there. Because yes, this is what you'll need with such a tool. It does look quite powerful to watch a tutorial for every single one of them. Have you created them on your own?
Yeah, and I tried to make the videos like 2 to 3 minutes because I know how annoying it is to watch a 20-minute video for like how to click a button. So they're really, really short videos.
Nice. Really good. Okay.
Yeah.
What are some more advanced parts in the optimization, or some more advanced strategies that you can go in besides just the basics?
Yeah, so a lot of sellers now are using our placement optimization right here. So this is really cool because every 2 weeks we'll optimize the campaign automatically by placement and then adjust the base bids based on the actual placement. So this is a really tricky thing to do. It is the most difficult calculation in our entire tool, and we've worked a lot to make this like really efficient. So by setting this, you know that you're optimizing for placements, and you can go over to the activity log and check out like exactly what's going on in the Smart Pilot and open it up and see the actual bids, adjustments, and everything else, and even revert the changes if you wanted to. So that's more of the sort of like the advanced side of things. And then also, of course, we have, maybe you want to optimize low converting targets or low click-through rate targets, or you can get as customizable as you want. Or maybe you want to do some expansion where you're going to take keywords from other campaigns and throw it into this campaign. You could do that as well. You can set up all the rules and map everything out and go nuts.
Okay. You see this time is running out actually. Hop on into the bulk engine, please, because it said that's And so of course, let us know, who's this mostly for? Would you say this? I mean, I guess not necessarily, just from my feeling right now, for the very, very beginners, but probably the ones who run several tens of campaigns at least, maybe having not only one product, but several of them in there. Give us a feel also for whom this is for, and if you want to, of course, talk about cost.
Yeah. So originally we built this for beginners, and if you are a beginner, every campaign is going to have a dashboard. All you have to do is go to the dashboard and then literally scroll across to review all the optimization strategies. Like they're all right over here for this campaign, which is really cool. If you have like 3 or 4 campaigns, you just come in here and do that, get to know what's going on. If you have like more than 10 campaigns, then that's really our target audience, is sellers who are starting to get a little messy in their campaign strategy. There's a lot going on. They got to stay organized. The bulk engine is awesome for that. It's so cool because you can select hundreds, thousands of campaigns. You can organize it by tags, by ad types, by portfolios. You can filter things just to get down to like what you want to work on, if you want to work on your campaigns that way. And then we have all of the modules inside of the individual campaign dashboard available at scale. So like, let's say, for example, I'll give you an example of one that I really like. It's called the negative word finder. Let's say you wanted to find all of the individual negative words that have never linked to a profitable sale. So you can do a very selective and careful negative phrase match. Well, here's all the ad groups connected to those campaigns that I just selected. And now I'm going to run the filter and I'm going to see that these keywords here, these individual words that are connected to larger search terms have, whenever somebody uses them in a search term, in a search query on Amazon, I'm not making a profit. And you could see the associated ACOS, and a lot of them are going to be 0. So for example, Trapper, I could do a negative phrase match, click over here, add negative phrase. Now we warn you, this is a high risk optimization because now you're not going to be getting any visibility for the word Trapper. So maybe this is a once a month type of task or a once a quarter type of task. But the point is our bulk engine can do it like so rapidly. And we have SOPs for all this stuff, which is why bigger sellers, bigger brands and agencies are gravitating towards our tool because you can do this stuff so efficiently. The spreadsheet eliminator, that's what this is all about. And then to stay organized, now we have a list of keywords. The bulk engine is also has the ability to organize by campaigns. So now here's the 4 campaigns that we selected. There's 15 words, 138 words. I could just open this up and then take action on a campaign level, or I could just combine it all together and go nuts without having to stack the campaigns like that. And the whole tool is kind of built that way.
Nice. Okay. So you can always look both by keywords as well as by SKUs as well as by campaigns.
Correct. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's a lot that I could share with you about this tool. I tend to overwhelm people. Just really want to show that we have a in-depth university as well that goes over exactly how to use the tool, quick start, smart pilot, the whole thing is in there. So, once you start getting used to it, I think it doesn't take long to master the tool. It's just about understanding how it operates.
Nice. I do like that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Any quick suggestion you would give a beginner, or say, when is the moment when you should start looking into this? When is the moment that you do feel overwhelmed enough to get in touch with you?
Yeah, I would say you probably don't need this until you have at least 5 campaigns that are aged a little bit. I would make sure that you have your basics set up before you start getting fancy, like set up your automatic campaigns, your basic strategy for manual targeting for your main keywords or longer tail keywords before you really start getting into sponsored brand or even sponsored display. Like, have your foundation in place. But I also know that like once you start layering on multiple SKUs and you start having more of a brand, there's going to be multiple strategies and you're going to start to accumulate campaigns. And that's when a tool like PPC Entourage would be very helpful.
Great. Mike, thanks a lot for this intro. I would like to see a little bit more myself then. Let's have a look for my own brands. Sounds very, very interesting. Thanks for being online here and sharing this with the community.
Hey, absolutely delighted. Thanks for having me, everyone. And Sebastian.
Talk soon.